As an African, I feel so concerned when I see the imperial America keeps on doing whatever they always do best. Thomas Sankara once said, imperialism is a bad student. You chase them out of the class, they come back the same. They will never change. This is the same action. I mean, divide and rule, divide and conquer. I see so many South Africans who are fed up of their government. They seem to be behind the idea that the United States of America wants to sanction ANC leadership. This is where we get caught up. When we are tired of our own government because of their corruption, because of them failing to deliver, or maybe because of their human rights abuses, we show that frustration. In the West, because they are sneaky, they will be reading the situation when they know and they realize, okay, this government is now very unpopular with their own people. They come in and want to deliver the final blow in order to overturn or overthrow that government. They use you to overthrow your own government. They just create the environment. They put all these things in place. You can see what they're doing, from embarrassing Ramaphosa. Now they're pushing the sanctions so that they delegitimize this government. What we don't understand as a people, because we are frustrated and we want this government out of office, we buy whatever bullshit that they bring, whatever stories that they bring, whatever the sanctions, we welcome them, because obviously, of course, we want this government gone. We have the same enemy now. The people hate the government. They hate the government, the Americans, and then we collude with them, we collaborate, we play into it, so that we accept the idea so that we can overturn this government. But we forget one thing. We think it's about us. We think it is because it is for our own interest. But to be honest with you, they don't care about you. Whatever they will be doing is for the interests of a certain group of the most powerful and the rich, those who actually have control and actual interest within the country, not about you, the average person. At the end of the day, you will realize that you've been used later on. And sometimes these sanctions thing and the destabilization or whatever they might cause in the country, chaos and destabilization of the economy, because sanctions are literally that. They are meant to destabilize the economy so that the people can rise up and revolt against their government. That's how they use them. Everything else that they tell you, no, it's not about you. We're not trying to hate you. It's them, the corrupt people. We know the corrupt people. They just want to make it nice with you so that you can buy whatever they're bringing. But at the end of the day, those things most of the times will end up hating you. Same as what happened in Zimbabwe. I mean, here in Zimbabwe, at the end of the day, what ended up happening is everybody suffered. But if you go to their sanctions, the list was targeted sanctions. But at the end of the day, everybody else suffered. So these people are clever. Do not think for a second that these people care about you as an average person. Do not, never underestimate the Americans. Even within their own systems, there are people, former CIA agencies, and really people who have been in the system, who have spoken out, who always warn people that be very, very careful. But us as a people, because we are frustrated, and I understand that frustration, but I always advocate for one thing: let us handle our own businesses. If we are in Africa, let's look for African solutions for African problems. Don't let them come and meddle into your own politics. These people have destroyed so many countries in the world. They look for divisions within the countries. When they see, okay, there is now division, then they pick one side. They even gone to the extent of funding terrorists. Those people like Osama bin Laden that they ended up killing at the end of the day. But they used him before when they wanted to use him. They used him to fight whatever group they want. Al-Qaeda, they use them to fight groups that they want to fight. If it is for their own interest, they don't care about your own country. Whatever ends up happening to your country, they don't care. That is the unfortunate thing with the Americans. So many people questions their actions around the world, intervening and interfering and playing dirty politics into other people's businesses. They end up collapsing those countries and they ignore them. They walk away. Same as Afghanistan, Syria, and they've done the same thing. When they realize, okay, they actually didn't have a good game plan, what then if they intervene and make sure these
this guy is out of office, then what comes after that? If there's chaos, they walk away, they just fold their hands and be like, yeah, look at them, we don't know, we were just trying to help them, we sanctioned them because. So don't be fooled, don't get too excited. I understand the desperation and the pain that we go through as Africans when our governments are not delivering for us. But America's intervention is not your solution. I can guarantee you, it's not about you. They don't care about you. If you listen to the rhetoric, even in that document that they published, it clearly shows that they never liked the ANC in the office. They never appreciated and they never liked the black government ruling the country. So this is a chance. They just couldn't do much when they had the majority, but now they realize, okay, fine, this is time to actually get them booted out. But then the question is, what comes next? These are questions that people need to ask, before we get too excited and rally behind it and say, okay, yes, for sure, sanction them, do this and do that. And it is a coincidence that this pressure started just after when the expropriation bill was signed, right? That is where everything started. The genocide claims and followed by sanctions and on all this, because they want to exert maximum pressure and make sure you get rid of that government. But to my fellow black folks out there, once you can support this because you hate Ramaphosa, because you hate his government, because they are corrupt and they are looting, they're stealing. But let me tell you one thing: once this goes through, you will never talk about land ever again in your life. Forget about it. It is over. That is what we say. Politics. In politics, we don't know anything. We just speculate. The real truth is not in the memo that is published in public. The real truth is then in the phone calls that happen behind the scenes. There are people within your society who will be protecting their own interests, and one of those interests will be the land. Those who own the land will be protecting that, and they know once we boot out this government, nobody will ever talk about it again. You will talk about land in your dreams. You will never ever have that chance again. I just recorded this video so that I can say I said it, I told you. Even if nobody watches this video, I just want it to be evidence that I said it, that this will be the end of it. You will never talk about land expropriation again. I said it before when I was explaining why the ANC would associate with Russia and China in the world. Of course, these are groups of countries which are fighting against American imperialism, and why would the other party within South Africa align themselves with America? Because America is the guarantor that land will never be expropriated in South Africa. They need America's guarantee and the safety, and you have seen it play out. Once the expropriation bill was signed, they ran to America, and America stepped up and called Ramaphosa and embarrassed him. And from then, the rhetoric changed from the Ramaphosas. They never, before they were saying we can do whatever we want. If we want to expropriate land, we can expropriate it. But after that White House meeting, everything changed. They're like, oh, no one is we have actually expropriated anything, and this will be the final blow. You will never ever talk about land again. So it's not because this is not my views on land. This is just a political commentary of my reading of the situation. Could be wrong, but this is how I look at it, and this is how I see it. That yes, you can support it because you don't like the NC. You don't like the Ramaphosa's because they are corrupt and they are looting. I completely agree and understand the frustration, because as an African, believe me, I wake up every day just like struggling with this idea. Why is our black government doing that across the whole continent? It is the same problem. But let me tell you one thing: the solution is not the Americans. The Americans do not have your interest at heart. They have their own interest. That is their own imperial agendas. They will not save you. I will ask you this in 10 years, even if whatever happens now, I'll ask you, did you actually get served by whatever they did? They've done this in so many countries, man. They have done this in so many countries.